Martial arts anime come around pretty often nowadays, but good martial arts anime with great and clean fight choreography? Well, that's another story. In today's video, guys, I bring you the top 10 martial arts anime with epic hand-to-hand combat fights and badass MCs. Number 10. Hinomaru Sumo. In professional sumo, there are no weight classes. It's a savage sport where the strongest survive, and anyone willing to test their mettle can step into the ring. There is, however, a minimum size requirement to be a pro sumo wrestler, and young Hinomaru Ushio, incredibly talented and hardworking though he may be, does not meet that requirement. This small boy has big dreams of reaching the highest class of sumo, Hinoshita Kaisan. The only way he could possibly go pro is if he becomes the high school Yokozuna, a title given to the strongest wrestler in high school tournaments. Ushio is under a lot of pressure, as well as a time limit. If he can't show off his skills in the high school tournaments, he may lose his chance to go pro permanently, and the odds are stacked against him. Instead of enrolling in Ishigami High, the best school for sumo in Japan, he enrolls in Odachi High, and must build a sumo club from the ground up, with the one devout member, Shinya Ozaki. Odachi High is the true underdog of the sumo world, but Ushio has to push forward with all his strength if he is going to make it professionally. Number 9. Shadow Skill TV. In the land of Kurida, warriors with magical powers and incredible fighting skills battle for the ultimate prize, the title of Sevar, the strongest warrior in the land. El Ragu, nicknamed Shadow Skill, is the newest Sevar to emerge, but that doesn't make her life any easier. Teaching her little brother, Gau, how to be a warrior, fending off assassins from other kingdoms, and thwarting enemy invasions is hard enough. But her biggest challenge will be paying off her drinking debts. Number 8. Tenjo Tenge. For some people, high school represents the opportunity for a fresh start. You can take new classes and make new friends. For Soichiro Nagi and Bob Makihara, though, high school means something different. The chance to become the top fighters in the entire student body. Too bad Todo Academy is the hardest possible place to realize their dreams. Their new high school is no ordinary academic institution. Rather than concentrating on classic subjects like math and science, Todo Academy was created for the sole purpose of reviving the martial arts in Japan. As a result, Soichiro's aspirations to become top dog are cut when he runs afoul of Masataka Takayanagi and Maya Natsume. The two upperclassmen easily stop the freshmen's duo rampage across school, but rather than serving as a deterrent, it only stokes their competitive fire. Number 7. Shura no Toki, Age of Chaos. According to legend, there was a clan of warriors in the Heian era who were a match for any samurai, even though they fought without weapons. They were called the Mutsu clan, and their art was known as the Mutsu Enmei style. This is the story of an unarmed style that allows the user to defeat any number of armed opponents using incredible speed and strength. This is a story of 3 generations of those who bear the name Mutsu, and their encounters and battles with the strongest fighters of the era. Witness them help influence the fall of the shogunate and Shinsengumi, and most importantly, touch the hearts and minds of everyone they meet.
どけ。いい度胸してるじゃねえか。ぶち殺してやる。
Number 6. Fist of the North Star. In the year 19XX, after being betrayed and left for dead, brave-hearted warrior Kenshiro wanders a post-apocalyptic wasteland on a quest to track down his rival, Shin, who has kidnapped his beloved fiancée, Yuria. During his journey, Kenshiro makes use of his deadly fighting form, Hokuto Shinken, to defend the helpless from bloodthirsty ravagers. It isn't long before his exploits begin to attract the attention of greater enemies, like warlords and rival martial artists, and Kenshiro finds himself involved with more than he originally bargained for. Faced with ever-increasing odds, the successor of the Hokuto Shinken is forced to put his skills to the test in an effort to take back what he cares for most. And as these new challenges present themselves, and the battle against injustice intensifies, namely his conflict with Shin and the rest of the Nanto Seiken school of martial arts, Kenshiro is gradually transformed into the savior of an irritated and violent world.
Yeah, that's right. I'll turn the force of your lunge right back at you. So...
Number 5. Kengan Ashura. Business deals are usually made through meetings and contracts, but in the world of Kengan Ashura, businesses resort to other means to make their decisions, by hiring gladiators. Yabako Sandrovich's Kengan Ashura depicts a world brimming with action, violence, and martial arts, one where powerful gladiators have fought in grand arenas since the Edo period to settle the disputes of wealthy businesses and merchants. Oma Tokita, who is nicknamed the Ashura, is a fighter trying to prove himself as the strongest. Hideki Nogi, a member of the Nogi group, hires Oma to fight for him and makes Kazuo Yamashita, an average middle-aged man, his manager. The duo is thrown into fights facilitated by the Kengan Association, their journey full of ruthless battles with other fighters aiming for the same goal. Number 4. Dragon Ball. Son Goku is a young boy who lives in the woods all alone. That is, until a girl named Bulma runs into him in her search for a set of magical objects called the Dragon Balls. Since the artifacts are said to grant one wish to whoever collects all 7, Bulma hopes to gather them and wish for a perfect boyfriend. Goku happens to be in possession of a Dragon Ball, but unfortunately for Bulma, he refuses to part ways with it. So she makes him a deal. He could tag along on her journey if he lets her borrow the Dragon Ball's power. With that, the two set off on the journey of a lifetime. However, it's not all fun and games. The ability to make any wish come true is a powerful one, and there are others who would do much worse than just wishing for a boyfriend. To stop those who would try to abuse the legendary power, they train to become stronger fighters, using their newfound strength to help the people around them along the way.
Now it all makes sense. When I get back into the right stance, I take an extra step forward and push with all my weight. Then I draw my opponent in using my momentum as I return to my stance. That way my defensive move becomes an offensive move.
Number 3. History's strongest disciple, Kenichi. Weak-legged Kenichi Shirahama would rather spend his time reading self-improvement books than fighting. However, when he finally works up the courage to become strong and joins his school's karate club, he is coerced into fighting a bullying upperclassman who is intent on getting him kicked out of the club. He is about to give it all up until he falls for his mysterious new classmate, Miyu Furinji. In order to face this challenge, he undergoes rigorous training at the dojo she lives at, Ryozanpaku. Some initial training by the masters there allow him to defeat his upperclassmen. However, his fighting prowess brings him to the attention of the powerful gang of delinquents, Ragnarok. Wishing to protect the things he loves and determined to have the strength to face the increasing adversity, he must learn various martial arts from the dojo's resident masters taking karate, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and Chinese martial arts, and combining them to create his own fighting style. Number 2. Baki. The protagonist, Baki Hanma, trains with an intense focus to become strong enough to surpass his father, Yujiro Hanma, the strongest fighter in the world. 5 of the world's most violent and brutal death row inmates are gathering to face Baki. Their objective is to taste defeat. Their unmatched strength and skill have led them to grow bored of life itself, and they now seek out Baki in hopes that he can overwhelm them and utterly crush them. In this crisis, other underground martial arts warriors gather to fight by Baki's side. Kaoru Hanayama, Goki Shibukawa, Retsu Kaio, and Doppo Orochi. An epic showdown between violent death row inmates and Baki and his friends begins.
You think that ploy's gonna last?
Number 1. Hajime no Ippo, the fighting. Makunochi Ippo has been bullied his entire life. Constantly running errands and being beaten up by his classmates, Ippo has always dreamed of changing himself, but never has the passion to act upon it. One day, in the midst of yet another bullying, Ippo is saved by Takamura Mamoru, who happens to be a boxer. Ippo faints from his injuries and is brought to the Kamagawa boxing gym to recover. As he regains consciousness, he is awed and amazed at his new surroundings in the gym, though lacks confidence to attempt anything. Takamura places a photo of Ippo's classmate on a punching bag and forces him to punch it. It is only then that Ippo feels something stir inside him, and eventually asks Takamura to train him in boxing. Thinking that Ippo does not have what it takes, Takamura gives him a task deemed impossible and gives him a 1-week limit. With a sudden desire to get stronger, for himself and his hardworking mother, Ippo trains relentlessly to accomplish the task within the time limit. Thus, Ippo's journey to the top of the boxing world begins. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, if you made it to the end of this video, well then I congratulate you, because I know I wouldn't have. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe if you want more of these, and don't forget to let me know your thoughts down below. Oh, and I also take video recommendations, so if you think of one, pass it on. Peace!